Chuck, this is your Enya R120 and I am going to begin the disassembly of this. Now in the inspection video I already had the rocker cover off, so I know that it's pretty dirty down in there. But we're going to see it again here. Let's get this glow plug out. Seeing, yeah, like there is a washer on that. It's just embedded in there. Maybe that's a washer. Maybe it's not a washer. Oh, there's a copper washer in there. It looks like it's really embedded in the head. I don't know. Maybe it's not a copper washer. It looks copper, but it also looks like it's kind of mushed all in place there. I'm not sure about that at this moment. Let's just continue on and get this carb off of here. Let's see, this doesn't look like it was sealed with any kind of an O-ring at all. So I'm not quite sure how that managed to actually create a seal, but I think there's not an O-ring down there. There might be one I can fit down there to seal it, or if nothing else, wrap this with Teflon tape really good to create a little bit better seal. I didn't blow when I did my blow test. I didn't feel any air leakage there, but since I've never encountered that type of Super Tiger carb on one of these before, I'm not really sure how that's gonna seal. And I do not recall, Chuck, if you have ever run this engine or what the history of this engine is. Got a ding in the push rod tube here. Won't impact anything, just noting that there is a ding in that tube. Now what I can do when I reinstall this is I can just rotate that ding behind. I don't think you would have really seen it, but just noting that it's there. As I mentioned in the first video, this is not a stock prop washer. It's a nice one though, because it's big, nice and heavy. I don't particularly care for these things, but if you want a new prop washer, nut prop washer set, I can get that for you also. I think our next step here is to take that thing off. But I think I need an L wrench here for that one. That's too big. Okay, so that is one of the head bolts. I think if I hold it like this, the camera will not tend to focus on the end of the wrench in my hand. Beautiful day outside. However, the winds are starting to pick up. We're supposed to be getting winds of 30 plus miles an hour and gusts of possibly up to 50 today. So although it's bright and sunshiny outside and fairly warm, it's in the upper 40s, the wind really throws a monkey wrench in a lot of things. So that's interesting. Okay, so there's one of the push rods came out. That's the other push rod. Yeah, this thing is really dirty. It just needs a really, really good cleaning. Interesting. For as dirty as the outside of this engine is, it doesn't appear to have all that much runtime. Look at that. Just by wiping the piston dry, with a dry cloth, I'm able to get a lot of that stuff off there. It's interesting that it has very light compression though. Well, here's the underside of the head. Pretty dirty, but it doesn't really look too bad. I mean, I can still clearly see the little lines in the valves. Hopefully you can see that on the camera here. So they're not even that filled up. This is just interesting. What is this? There's another screw here that I'm not familiar with. I don't understand what that is there for. Get these seals out of the head here. I'll have to drop those valves at some point. I think I'm going to go ahead and remove this front housing. We'll see if I can. No, that's not happening. Okay, here's our front housings off. Yeah, bearings are definitely pretty rough. Gasket's gone, which I figured it would be. See inside here, you can see the F denoting forward or front. Let's pop this. Yeah, the ring is completely compressed in there. Well, actually, it's not completely compressed. There's a little bit of a gap there. Yeah, it's not, but it'll be freed up when I put it in the ultrasonic cleaner. Okay, let's get this rear cover off here. I don't know what that screw is. I'm not taking it out, I can tell you that. Wiggling. May not want to come off without a little heat. I don't think I can probably get some oil down in there. Whether that'll help or not. Right now what's holding it in place is these gears are in place in here, and with this dried oil in there, it's causing that to stay kind of locked up. So I think I'm just going to shut the camera off at this point and apply some oil in here maybe and some heat and get the rest of this disassembled. Okay, I've got that rear cover off and I'll show you those pieces here, but I'm just heated this up. I'm going to start attempting to get this crankshaft out of here. Heated up to some degree anyway. Should be rotating. It's starting to come down. Ow, it's a little warm. Smack this. Oh, the front drive came off. I don't know if this is gonna, that crankshaft is gonna fit in my little opening here or not, so I can fully get it out. It's not. So what am I gonna do now? I guess I'm gonna turn the camera off for a moment again. Okay, I had to come up with some creative fixturing to pound that crankshaft out, but I got it out. Now, this is the front of the housing and it's got that clip in there. I have to try to squeeze that clip and get something underneath here to help get it out while I'm squeezing it. Might have to get my other pliers. And I gotta hold this in place while I do this because it's a two-handed operation. There we go, so it clips out now. Now I can put a little oil, a little bit more oil in there and get these bearings out. I had quite a bit of oil drizzled down here. Now what I'm going to end up having to do is put my glove back on, heat these up, and use one of these punches. I'll probably use the biggest punch I've got to get on the edge there. Pound that out. So let's heat this thing up again. I typically just kind of do it in my hand, and then that bearing pops right out. And likewise the same goes for this one. If I can catch the edge of it. And change to another edge. And that bearing's out now. Okay, so now that bearing's out, I can move that and show you the griminess of the inside of this timing cover. And this is pretty typical of what you see inside here. Now, one thing I don't understand yet is this screw here, and I haven't got this bearing right out yet. And see, there's a screw in here now, and it's intruding upon that bearing. So I don't understand why that's there. I'm going to have to get that out because that just can't be if I'm going to replace that bearing. And here's the cam followers. Pretty gross looking too, so I mean everything in this is pretty gross. Just pop that out. That gasket was gone to begin with. And now luckily, I don't know how lucky I am, that bearing always tends to come out on this shaft, but then I got to try to figure out how the heck to get it off of this shaft because that can be kind of a problem. So all bearings are out of these two things. Still got the one here and the one on that shaft, and then it's just a matter of the cleanup effort and try to figure out what to do from here. Okay, Chuck, so here's your Enya R120 4-cycle engine. It's just been disassembled and cleaned, and I've done some of my sanding with oil on some of the steel parts. And unfortunately, I don't really have any really super good news for you here. Most of these parts cleaned up pretty well. There's still some stuff in here, and these were in the cleaner for quite some time. The head, this engine is just in, in my estimation, is just in pretty rough shape. That's the best that the ultrasonic cleaner would clean that, and I don't lap valves, so I'm not going to touch that seat because I might only make it worse. I'm just not skilled enough to do that. This piston came clean, fairly clean. The ring is not stuck, and connecting rod moves really well in it, so that might provide you with some compression, but the carb I put in the cleaner. I mean, this is just a Super Tiger carb, so it's in good shape. It's missing these Super Tiger carbs that have this lip around here. Are supposed to have some kind of a rubber boot around there, and that's missing from this one. Front housing cleaned up fairly well. Not perfect. I mean, this engine has just got some discoloration. Haven't done anything with that yet. I'm not going to until I discuss these. And you got some issues with these timing gears. Now, these things are so small, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get good pictures of them, but both of them have issues. Both of the cam lobes on them. I'm going to hold them up here, and I'm sure you're probably not going to be able to see them. I'm going to try and get some pictures with my cell phone. Both of the cam lobes they're knocked out. They've got issues on both sides of the lobe. It looks like they've been dented, dinged, damaged. And I don't know if it's because of those screws that were put in that rear case or what, but both of the cam lobes look bad. And then you also have some teeth, some damaged teeth. And this, I had to put my magnifier on the highest magnification I've got to see these timing dots. These timing dots on this thing are very, very small, but you've got some damaged teeth, at least 2 damaged teeth on one and 1 or 2 on the other. I don't know if these can be replaced. I don't know if they sell replacement parts for these. Will this engine run in the condition it goes in with new bearings? Probably. How long it will run, I have no idea, because quite frankly, these timing gears and these cam lobes just really look like crap. I mean, I hope that I can't see from my little LCD screen if this is really showing up, and I'll try and do some more zooming, digital zooming, but man, these cam lobes are just beat up. So in my opinion, I wouldn't run an engine like that with those timing gears. So I don't have any really good news. This timing cover is just so far gone with these 2 holes in it that you wanted a replacement. I have a replacement, but you need to determine whether you want to invest in this engine or not, because it's pretty rough. I mean, so this timing cover is junk, so I'm not even going to bother trying to get that bearing out. If you want this engine rebuilt, I'll just give you that, I'll sell you that new one I've got, buy bearings and put in there. But other than that, that's kind of the lowdown on this engine. The valves are still soaking. I haven't done anything with them yet to clean them up. But the kicker is these 2 timing gears are just, the cam lobes are just really in horrible shape, and with the teeth missing. That's just what it is. So I think I'll conclude this video and let you see this video, and then we'll go from there.